What's up everybody, my name's Dan and welcome to The Vault. And today, the film I'll be reviewing is John Wick Chapter 2. Now I was extremely excited to see this one. I was happy to hear at least one of the directors from the first one, Chad Stahelski, still not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, was returning to do this film. Also some of the cast from the first film returning with some fresh new additions, for instance Lawrence Fishburne and the beautiful Ruby Rose, which was a nice surprise. So the film opens with a rather sensory deceiving shot of a silent film on the side of a building. We hear the sound of the collision before the motorbike slides into view. Then we join our title character where the last film left off, still looking for a stolen car and hunting down what's left of the Russian mob. What ensues is a bike/car chase and the uncle of the cocky Yosef from the first film having a fearful conversation about John Wick. And after taking out a slew of guys, standard John Wick, the two have a conversation and find a peace. John Wick goes back to retirement with an even cuter dog in tow, and that should be it, right? Film's over, he's back in retirement? Wrong. John Wick can't do something as simple as retire. That's blasphemous, man, come on. He is then visited by an old acquaintance from the Italian mob who sends him on a mission to Rome to honour a blood oath. I loved this second instalment, probably even more than the first. I feel that this time around the cast and crew really let themselves go and really let themselves enjoy making this film. There's a lot more brevity, there's a lot more of the humour that made me fall in love with the first film. In particular the wonderful humorous scene where John is forced to sit down and have a drink with a guy who was trying to kill him not 5 minutes before. A breath of fresh air also comes in the decision to set part of this film in Rome. I feel this adds an elegance to the film, to the settings, and to the assassin world that John inhabits. And it was a nice bonus to be able to see this world that we didn't really get to see much of in the first film. Honestly, a job well done to the set designers and the location scouts for that. One group that also deserves so much praise in this film are the fight choreographers and the stuntmen. The action sequences and the fight sequences in this film have such a visceral beauty and such a brutal carnage to them. There's one particular fight scene in a subway. I won't go into too much detail, but it's sure to get a gasp from any audience watching. It was absolutely brilliant. Credit should also be given to the director. He has this innate skill, which I've touched on in my review for the first film. He has this innate skill of giving us just enough dialogue in the down scenes that so that as an audience we're not bored, and that we're still able to keep up with the character developments. And he also gives us just enough of the action sequences so that they don't come across as too gratuitous or too much. And it really is just a perfect balance. And you know, I think the guy. I read that the guy was a stuntman for 20 years, so there really is this perfect balance of character development scenes and these perfect, gratifying action scenes. There also appears to me to be a kind of brutal art in this film that wasn't really apparent to me in the first. From the Jesus-like suicide or the blood spatter on a set piece or a prop. I think this film would do so well because it's unashamed in its brutal moments. It honestly revels in them. From John Wick's character 180ing a car into a bad guy and then in the next instance kicking in the kneecaps of another. Honestly, take a triple shot of vodka every time Keanu Reeves is hit by a car or is the one doing the hitting with a car. Honestly, you'll be super drunk by the end of this film, I promise you. It is also just a really fun film to watch. Like the first, it's not going to win any Oscars, but it is entertaining as hell. It also has a great supporting cast, from Lawrence Fishburne, who, whenever he's in a film with Keanu Reeves, I always expect him to offer him like a red or blue pill. I will actually watch that trilogy again, and I'm going to review it for you guys because it's one of my favourite trilogies. All the way to the beautiful Ruby Rose, whose sign language signing assassin is badass, man, and she just adds a really cool character into the mix. This second installment is even more fast-paced and thrilling than the first, sticking to the same formula but adding in some coolness and some humour. It seemed to really work for it. It's really pumped me up for the next instalment. But what I'm hoping is that they don't make too many and kind of ruin the franchise, which happens so often in Hollywood and with films like this and with franchises like this. It also looks like Keanu Reeves has another successful franchise on his hands, which I'm really happy about because I love him as an actor and I also love him as a human being. You know, if you haven't seen the sad Keanu Reeves memes, I suggest you go look them up. And if you don't know just how nice this guy is, you know, look it up on Google. You know, I think he bought Harley Davidsons for the crew of the last Matrix film, which is just amazing. You know, he's just a great guy. So I'm happy that he's got in this and that he's in these films. I just love him as a human being. You know, but that's enough talk. Let's go to the blackboard and see if John Wick 2 belongs in the vault. Hi guys, welcome back to the blackboard. Dug up by Indiana Jones himself, yet we still do not have any chalk for it. So again, imagination, and I promise we will get some chalk for the board. But if my lovely editor could again use her digital mastery to make it look professional. So here we are, and we're going to go through the list of criteria to determine whether John Wick 2, Chapter 2, belongs in the vault. Firstly, was this film entertaining? Was I bored at any point watching this film? I can safely say that throughout this whole film, there was no point where I was bored watching it. This film is fantastic, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's got some fantastic action sequences, so that's a tick for that one. Number 2, how was the direction, music, etc. in this film? Did it make the viewing experience any better? The direction, as I've said, in this film is fantastic. The dialogue scenes are short enough. The action sequences aren't too long or too much. So you're given just enough of each of those things that you leave after watching this film having enjoyed it and just with a general smile on your face. So that's a mark for that one. Number 3, did this film elicit an emotion?
Anyway.
Number 3, did this film elicit an emotional response? Did I empathise with the characters? I have to say, there's a certain point in the film, I won't give too much away, where the character is kind of being attacked on all sides, and you kind of do think to yourself, give this guy a break. So I didn't really empathise as much in this film as I did with him in the first film, obviously because in the first film he lost his wife and his dog. I think more in this film, I felt empathy with John Wick's enemies, because whenever his name is mentioned or he's spoken about, there's a certain kind of fear and reverence when they're talking about him. So I felt their fear in knowing that he was on his way to sort them out, to kill them. So in that sense, I guess I did empathise in that way. So that's a tick for that one. Number 4, would I pay price of admission for this film? 100% yes I would. This film is amazing, it's worth price of admission, and I know cinema tickets are very, very expensive these days, but this is one of these films where it's worth the money. You will not go into this film and come out after thinking, you know, that was a waste of money. You'll go into this film thinking that was definitely worth every penny I spent for the ticket. So that's a tick right there. Number 5, and probably just as important, would I suggest this film to my friends and you lovely subscribers? Yes, 100% yes. If you haven't seen the first one, go and watch it. Watch my review for the first one first, then go and watch it. You'll love it. I went with my housemate, we both thoroughly enjoyed it. So to answer that question, yes, I would say go watch it. It's one of those popcorn films where you can just sit back, relax and enjoy it. It's got some really cool, gnarly action sequences, and it's just a very enjoyable film. So that's a tick for that one right there. John Wick Chapter 2 looks like it will be going into the vault. And guys, if you like what you see here and you like what I do here, please subscribe down below, like this video. There will be more videos coming. My editor and I are working really hard this week to get this channel up and running for you guys. So I really appreciate the support, and peace and love, my dudes.